Okay, the video we are about to record and have you watch is all focused on being able to change a cutting tool out of our spindle. So we're zoomed in, as you can see, to the spindle on the Shop Saber CNC. Okay, a couple things safety wise, and I'm sure in the background you can hear that the machine is powered up. Okay, the machine is fine to be powered up if we're changing a tool. What we want to make sure that we have is that our power disconnect over here is in the off position. Okay, and the off position is with that lever all the way down. Okay, so right now the machine is on, but our spindle power is disconnected. Okay, so at no time do I have to worry about this spindle turning on or powering up while I'm in the middle of a tool change. Okay, so very important safety wise. Okay, two tools, a regular wrench, okay, and a spanner wrench. And on the spanner wrench, hopefully you notice it's got some teeth going around the diameter of that spanner wrench, 4 of them. Okay, those teeth need to align and position and slide up into the grooves that are milled in the collet nut. Okay, and I am spinning that collet nut around right now between my fingertips. Okay, so you can see those grooves that are milled into that collet nut, and that spanner wrench, the 4 teeth need to engage in those milled out grooves. Our regular wrench, okay, our regular wrench, that is to go across the flat milled in the top of the spindle. There's one right here, and then on the opposite side is a second milled surface that is flat. Okay, our wrench needs to go across those 2 milled flats. Okay, and then our spanner wrench will need to slide up and engage on our collet nut. Now the direction we want to turn our wrenches when we want to loosen the collet and change a tool, okay, we need to push the wrenches together. Okay, and you see they just released, they actually just dropped. The cutting tool that was in the collet, which is not ideal, we want to try to prevent that from happening, but it will happen from time to time, and fortunately this tool did not, sustain any damage when it fell to the floor. But if at all possible, please do not allow the cutting tool to drop to the floor. Okay, if we widen out our view a little bit, if I take the collet nut off inside of the spindle, and the collet nut is a tool holding mechanism called a collet. Okay, this particular collet is a 1/4 inch diameter, and all that means is it is designed to hold tools that have a shaft that is a 1/4 inch diameter. We've got different size collets. We've got a 3/8 collet, we've got an 1/8 inch collet, and you can order collets even larger than 3/8. Okay, but those are the size collets that we've got. So depending on the tool that you want to use, that will help determine the size of the collet that you want to use. Most of our signs we're going to be using this V-bit. This is a 90-degree V-bit, okay, which basically means the 2 cutting edges form a 90-degree angle off of this top center point. Okay, they have 60-degree V-bits as well, where this cutting angle is a little steeper, okay, and forms a 60-degree angle off of this center point. Okay, so when we load a tool into our collet, a couple things to be aware of. Okay, the shaft on this particular cutting tool is about 1.25 inches long. Okay, I don't ever want to just have a little bit of that extended into the collet. Okay, right now I've got about 1 inch extending out of the collet. So that's not going to allow the collet to have a very secure hold of this cutting tool. Okay, nor do I ever want to slide the cutting tool all the way in to the collet, because now the collet could interfere with, you know, any surface that could be raised up above the top of our workpiece. Okay, so we want to have about 1/2 inch of that shaft of our cutting tool extended out of the collet. Okay, as you see here. Okay, when we go to load this back in, we really need to kind of try to support the bottom of our cutting tool so it doesn't drop while we are tightening the collet nut. Okay, so my hand is kind of cupped to hold that cutting tool and prevent it from falling. Now right now I just hand tightened the collet nut. Okay, to secure this, again using our 2 wrenches, our spanner wrench and our regular wrench, now the action is to pull those wrenches in opposite directions, and that will tighten the collet, which in turn tightens and holds securely our cutting tool. Okay, so we'll set the wrenches off to the side, and then one final thing that we'll do before we ever run a job is to put our dust boot on. Okay, and it's magnets that hold this on. And you'll be able to see those magnets around the perimeter. Okay, around the perimeter right here's a magnet. Okay, there's another one up here, and there's some on the opposite side over here as well. So when you put this on, you'll feel the magnets pull together, and our dust boot is now attached. So that does the job that it's supposed to. It contains and controls the sawdust created by the cutting tool carving your design on the workpiece. Okay, that's our video on how to change a tool with the Shop Saber CNC.